Doctors just removed a chunk of this animal's brain. Not a tumor, not an accident. They cut it out on purpose. Give it time, and that missing brain tissue grows back completely. New neurons, new connections, like the surgery never happened at all. If a human loses brain tissue, that loss is permanent, forever. This creature just grows a new one, then carries on swimming. Meet the axolotl, a Mexican salamander that looks permanently surprised. Wide grinning mouth, tiny dot eyes, feathery gills like a crown. It looks like a cartoon. Its biology reads like science fiction. This animal never grows up. It stays a baby forever. Sexually mature, fully grown, and stuck in larval form for life. Scientists call this neoteny. Most people just call it bizarre. But the brain trick isn't even the strangest part of this story. Cut off a leg, and a brand new leg grows back. Slice the tail, sever the spinal cord. The result is identical. No scar tissue, no infection, no exaggeration, just perfect new tissue. This is real, functional, perfect regeneration, happening in actual, real time. Somewhere in this animal's DNA sits a blueprint for immortality, and somehow humans share a piece of that exact same blueprint. Stick around, because that connection is genuinely about to surprise you. First, you need to understand what this creature actually is. The axolotl now lives in exactly one place left on Earth, a shrinking lake system underneath one of the world's biggest cities. And everything starts with one strange decision: never grow up. So what exactly can this animal regrow? Almost everything, it turns out. Limbs, tails, jaws, skin, even parts of its own heart. Lose an eye lens, and a working lens grows back too. Most animals just heal damage. This one rebuilds it from scratch. Human skin heals into thick, tough, permanent scar tissue instead. Axolotl skin heals into more perfect axolotl skin. No scar at all. Same texture, same color, same function, like nothing was ever cut. Scientists have watched one axolotl regrow the same limb multiple times. Multiple amputations, multiple perfect new limbs. The same result every time. So where is this superpower actually hiding inside its body? Most people assume it's something exotic, some secret magic cell. Here's the twist. The real secret is something you already have. Immune cells called macrophages, the same ones that fight your infections. Scientists tested this by removing macrophages from an injured axolotl. The wound stopped healing right. Scar tissue formed. Regeneration failed completely. Without those immune cells, the miracle salamander scars just like us. Which means this secret isn't alien biology. It's something familiar. It's an immune system, doing something ours apparently forgot how to do. So what's physically happening when a missing leg actually reappears? It starts with something almost too strange to believe is real. Cells at the wound site forget what they used to be. A skin cell, a muscle cell, a bone cell, all reset. They de-differentiate, scientists say, into a blank, stem cell-like state. That blank pile of cells has a name: the blastema. The blastema is basically a ball of reprogrammed, confused-looking cells. But confused is exactly the wrong word. It's incredibly organized. Somehow, this cell blob knows exactly what body part is missing. Cut off a hand, and only a hand grows back. Never extra. Cut at the elbow, and the elbow down regrows. Nothing more. Something inside these cells is reading a kind of internal map. For decades, scientists hunted that map. Then they found a clue. Retinoic acid sits at different concentrations all along the limb. High near the shoulder, lower near the hand. A built-in gradient. That gradient works like a GPS signal for missing body parts. Cells read their position on that gradient and rebuild accordingly. Researchers even tested this by injecting extra retinoic acid directly. The result was bizarre. Limbs regrew with extra duplicate sections attached. Mess with the GPS signal, and the rebuild gets corrupted instantly, which proves this chemical isn't just present, it's giving real directions. Now here's the detail that should genuinely surprise you right now. Retinoic acid isn't some exotic, salamander-only chemical at all. Humans make it too, straight from vitamin A in our bodies. You've probably touched a bottle of it without even realizing it. It's the same ingredient in retinol cream sitting in your bathroom. The molecule rebuilding a leg is sitting in your skincare routine. We share the exact chemical. So why can't humans regrow limbs? The honest answer, our bodies just don't use it the same way. Human wounds rush towards scar tissue fast, almost like a shortcut. Scar tissue closes a wound fast, but blocks any real rebuilding. Axolotls take the slower route and rebuild the original structure instead. It's the difference between a quick patch and a full repair. And that single difference might be the key to regenerative medicine. To understand why, you have to look inside their actual DNA. In 2018, scientists finally finished mapping the full axolotl genome. What they found broke records, the largest genome ever sequenced. 32 billion base pairs. That's roughly 10 times the human genome. Imagine an instruction manual 10 times longer than the human one. Nobody fully knows why salamanders carry genomes this enormous in size, but buried in all that extra code sit the regeneration instructions. So why does this animal stay a baby its entire life? The answer involves a hormone most people have never heard of. Normal amphibians release a thyroid hormone to trigger their metamorphosis. That trigger turns a swimming tadpole into a land-walking adult. Axolotls have that same receptor. Their body just never releases the trigger. So the metamorphosis button exists. It just never gets pressed. The result is a fully grown adult stuck in larval form. Gills, tail fin, aquatic body, permanently. Scientists call this Neoteny, basically biology's version of Peter Pan, except it's a real salamander. And staying young at the cellular level may explain the regeneration. Juvenile cells are naturally more flexible, more willing to rebuild themselves. An axolotl's whole body runs on cells that never fully matured. You also need to know how strange these animals actually behave. Axolotls have terrible eyesight and snap at almost any moving object. In a shared tank, that includes the limbs of other axolotls. Yes, they regularly bite off each other's legs by total accident, and the victim just shrugs it off and regrows a new leg. They have no real teeth, just tiny pegs for gripping prey. They vacuum prey whole into their stomachs, sometimes swallowing gravel too. Here's a problem all this regeneration really should be causing. Rapid, repeated cell division is usually a recipe for trouble. In humans, fast and uncontrolled cell growth usually means cancer. Axolotls regrow entire limbs through non-stop, rapid cell division constantly. And yet tumors in axolotls are remarkably, almost suspiciously, rare. This shouldn't be possible by the normal rules, but it is. Researchers point to a few possible reasons behind this resistance. Their version of P53, the body's tumor suppressor switch, looks different. In humans, broken P53 fuels roughly half of all cancers. The axolotl version of that gene appears unusually stable and tolerant. Add a slow metabolism and a powerful built-in immune system too. The combination somehow lets rapid regrowth happen without spiraling into cancer. This is exactly why medical researchers are obsessed with this animal. Spinal cord injuries in humans are currently permanent, full stop. Severe burns leave scars that never fully restore original skin function. Heart damage after a heart attack is currently impossible to reverse. Every one of those problems, axolotls solve routinely, without any effort. Researchers aren't trying to turn humans into salamanders. Let's be clear. They're trying to borrow the underlying biological instructions, piece by piece. Which genes switch on? Which proteins activate? Which signals get sent? If even a fraction of that process transfers to human medicine, we could be looking at treatments for currently untreatable human injuries. That research is happening right now in labs around the world, and that 2018 genome map made all of this research possible. This tiny, smiling salamander might be sitting on a medical gold mine, which makes what's happening to it in the wild even more painful. Here's the part of the story that nobody really wants to hear. In the wild, axolotls now live in exactly one place on Earth, a shrinking network of canals called Lake Xochimilco near Mexico City. In 1998, surveys counted around 6,000 axolotls per square kilometer. By 2008, that number had collapsed to roughly 100. By 2014, surveys found as few as 36 per square kilometer. That's a crash of over 90% in less than 2 decades. Today, estimates suggest somewhere between 50 and 1,000 left. Total, not per square kilometer, total, in the entire wild population. Pollution, sewage runoff, and invasive fish are driving this entire collapse. Tilapia and carp were introduced decades back to feed a city. Those invasive fish now eat axolotl eggs and young by the thousands. Urban sprawl from Mexico City keeps swallowing what habitat remains, too. The same lake that helped build an empire is now disappearing fast. The Aztecs believed this creature was actually a disguised god. Xolotl, god of fire and lightning, twin to the feathered serpent. Legend says that God became an axolotl to escape being sacrificed. This animal still appears today, printed on Mexico's 50 peso bill. Scientists and local farmers are now racing to reverse this decline. They're building biofilters from volcanic rock to clean the polluted canals. They're restoring ancient floating farms called chinampas across the wetlands. In 2025, a major test finally brought genuinely good news. Captive-bred axolotls were released back into restored sections of the lake. Every single one of them survived the first 40 days monitored. It's a small win, but after decades of collapse, it counts. Still, the math here stays genuinely brutal either way you look. Humans might be sitting on a cure hidden inside this species, a possible answer to paralysis, organ failure, and unhealable wounds. And that same species could vanish before we finish decoding it. The most regenerative animal alive can't regenerate its own habitat. No amount of blastema cells can rebuild a poisoned lake. Fixing that isn't biology. That part is completely up to us. A creature that can regrow its own brain still needs our help. Maybe that's the strangest lesson a salamander could ever teach us.